Hi there, fight fans. My name is Kian Lang. I'm very happy to say that I'm joined by Denis Frimpong, the Octagon lightweight, fresh off his win in Octagon 71. Dennis, how are we doing today?
Oh, good, mate. You can see stuff in my face for the last few days.
Deserve, man. You deserve a break from it. Obviously, massive win for you in your last fight. Definitely the best performance of your career. Looking back on that fight, how happy are you with how it went?
Yeah, so like I say, um, not really looking back at it, more so looking forward at the next challenge because I feel like I was already reflecting on this fight weeks before the fight happened. I visualized it. I saw how it was going to go. I knew how it was going to go. I said in the face to face how I thought it was going to go, and I knew how it was going to go, and it went exactly that way. So there was no surprises really. Um, and how the fight went. So in that way, I almost feel like I've already experienced it, and it's like I almost kind of went through the motions a little bit in the fight there. And now, as I say, I'm just looking at the next challenge, the next step in my career.
Yeah. And we saw in the build up to the fight that Topolaya sort of in his mind, he thought your heart and your will was a weakness and your finishing ability was a weakness. And then we see in the actual fight, you're the one that's coming on stronger late in the rounds, even after 2 rounds of war, really, and you're able to finish the fight. How satisfying was that for you?
Um, yeah, I'm glad it went the way it did. If I'd have knocked him out in the first round, what could you then say? Like it would have just been like, oh, I still haven't proven him wrong in a way. Um, but I'm glad that he was able to put it on me a little bit. I'm glad that it was the stylistic matchup that it was. And I'm glad that he said the things he said because it makes for a damn good highlight reel. So yeah, he said I had no heart, proved him wrong. He said I wasn't a finisher, finished him. Um, and like I say, I am a death by a thousand cuts style. I'm not a big one punch knockout artist. Like I'm gonna hit you consistently and it's gonna hurt and it's gonna damage you and it's gonna make you, fucking hell, like I don't see Robin Frank fighting again for a while. He
Yeah.
was, on an IV drip on oxygen after his fight with me, even though I didn't finish him. Ariane, same thing. Couldn't make it to the center after the fight, stretchered out of the cage into the hospital till 4 a.m. in the morning. So I mean, it's only a matter of time. It really is only a matter of time. They best start giving me tougher opponents and better opponents, top 10 opponents, because it's only a matter of time before someone unfortunately ends up passing away,
Yeah.
because the damage I put on people consistently over a fight, it's almost worse than getting knocked out cold. You get knocked out cold, it's like you recuperate, you're good. After a while, maybe you're a bit of a sore head later on. But I'm just beating you up, till your body quits on you. And I think that's a lot more dangerous for people's health in the end.
Yeah. And obviously, with the way Octagon works with the live scoring, going into that third round, you knew it was 19-19 on two judges' scorecards. How is that mentally knowing that you need that round? And if you want to win that fight, you need to take that round.
To be honest, in my head, I thought I either need to absolutely dom him for this round or I need to finish him. Because one
Yeah.
judge somehow gave round two to him.
And
So
which,
in my head, I'm thinking, one of these judges is going to give a dodgy call, regardless. If this is a 10-9 round to me, they might give it a 10-9 to him. So
yeah.
in my head, I'm thinking I need to fuck this guy up for this round. I knew that he had nothing left. After the first round, I knew he was gassed. And I knew if I just turned the pressure up a little bit in that third round that he would cave. My coach said to me in the corner, Carl Prince said, I don't care if I have to carry you out of this cage after this fight, but I want you to finish this guy. I want you to put it on him. He's fucked. You might be fucked, but he's more fucked than you are. And that's what it like. Look, don't get me wrong. I was tired too. I was tired too after that pace. The pace that the first 2 rounds were set at. It's a hard pace. So I was tired too. I did a big weight cut. and I definitely felt the effects of it. I'm not going to do that again. But yeah, I had to dig deep, find that heart, get that dog out of me, and the shot selection in the third round is, you know, it reflects upon my skill set and my training, because your body does what it's trained to do
Yeah.
even when it's tired, so I was finding the chin, I was finding the head, the body, I was hitting combinations like it was fucking Tekken 8, and I put them away.
And you mentioned Carl Prince there. How much help does it give you, not only having such an experienced head coach like him, but such an experienced team over at Manny Top Team? I mean, the amount of killers you have in that gym is incredible. You're one of the best in the whole country and the whole of Europe, really. How much help does that give you, knowing that you've been through the fire of training every day with those guys?
Yeah, like the amount of confidence it gives you training with the guys at that level, going into a fight against a guy who's 7-1. You're like, yeah, you're 7-1, but I'm training with guys who have 15 plus fights, who are in the UFC, PFL, Bellator, top promotions in the world. And like, you know, the work I'm getting in there, nothing is gonna really ever emulate. Like I had harder rounds in the gym. I had harder sparring days in the gym doing 5-5s than I had that fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like where people are really trying to fucking kill you and really pushing you to that limit, and are all at a high skill level, um, experience level. Like guys that are 50, like I say, 15 plus fights into their pro career, and I can hang with them. I can sure as hell hang with a guy who has 8 fights in his pro career.
Yeah, definitely. And it felt like during the fight there was a different energy about you. In the past, we've seen you like the Robin Frank fight, just hilarious, really, during the fight, saying I'm just a kickboxer and over again. But in this fight, you felt like a killer in there. Do you think with everything going on with the upcoming birth of your son and everything, did you feel an extra drive and motivation this time around?
Mm, not necessarily. I'll give it to Aryan. He did say there's not going to be any time to talk in there. And fucking hell, mate, the way the pace that the fight was set at, like, didn't really have any time to talk. I was
Yeah.
foaming at my arse at stages, So yeah, the pace the fight was set at, like, I wasn't really trying to talk either. I did consider it a couple times when there was like little lulls in the action, but I said, nah, let me just fucking save my breath and put it on this one, because the pace that the fight was at, I needed every bit of oxygen I could have.
Yeah.
So I said, let me not talk. Let me just let my finish do the talking. And listen, I like to have a little play in there, a little joke and a mess. You know what I mean? You can't take yourself too seriously at the end of the day. But I also wanted that bonus, like you said, for my kid. I'm going to be out for a couple of months, so I needed a bit of extra cash. Unfortunately, didn't get the bonus. Everyone thought I deserved the bonus. Everyone knew I deserved the bonus, but it is what it is.
I'm still hoping they're gonna do it late, because I think you definitely were fight of the night and performance of the night, in my opinion. How much help did it give you as well with having such a good friend like Shamrock on the card with you? It seemed like you two the whole week. I mean, you always are, but you were both so relaxed. I mean, just so calm and confident going into that. Just having a guy like him on the card with you just settle those nerves even more.
Yeah, obviously, we just have the vibes, don't we? Like
Yeah,
press conferences, the warm up, little shakeout the morning of. We were in the same warm up area, so like the vibes were just going. Um, Obviously, I didn't get to watch his whole fight. I watched the first 2 rounds. I knew he was up on the scorecards. Didn't really get to see the end of his fight because they were like bringing me out at
yeah,
that stage, and I was warming up and stuff like that. So yeah, knowing that he won pushed me a bit and said, "Yeah, he got a decision. I've got to get a finish now." I mean, we can't both get a decision. So, but yeah, other than that, like you said, the whole fight week and stuff leading up to it, yeah, it was good to have each other to bounce off and whatnot.
yeah. And obviously, looking forward to what's next. I've seen on Instagram recently Peter Gabel, another fighter who fought on Octagon 71. He's been calling you out. Gokhan Aksu, who's been mentioning your name a little bit. Is there one guy in particular you'd like, or is it just whoever comes can get it?
Mm, from what I understand, Gokhan Aksu wants to fight me in November in Munich in the SAP Garden. That could be a main event, I believe. He's a ranked opponent. I don't really want to wait till November. I want to get out there in September. So what? September, October, November. Yeah, we've got a bit of time in between. I think it's the 22nd of November as well. So it's the end of November.
Yeah.
2 months in between. I'd like that. A little bit of time off. Fight in September. Smoke Peter Gabal. You can be a little tune-up fight. A little warm-up. Just get him out of the way. Shut him up for once and for all. We've had beef going back since last year. And he was chatting mad shit about me back then, saying I don't deserve to fight him and all this kind of shit. And now he's fighting on my prelims, and now he wants to fight me. So yeah, he can get it first. Um, even though it's me against a Czech fighter, I'd like to fight him in Germany because at least then I'm not fighting the hometown boy. Maybe I'll get a few more cheers than he will.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd like him maybe in like Hanover, and then Gokhan Aksu can get it in November, and then it makes sense because that'll be me on riding a 5-fight win streak in Octagon. 7-2 on Topology, and already has an narrative there to fight Gokhan Aksu. So main event Munich, get into the rankings by the end of 2025, and then next year we go on another run and we get that title.
Well, man, I can't wait to see it play out. I'm a big fan of yours, and I can't thank you enough for joining me today. It's been a real pleasure to speak to you, and it was a pleasure watching you fight last Saturday, man. Thank you very much.
No, thank you for having me on. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you very much, brother.